No, I didn't care for that at all, I didn't. I thought it was terribly unfair, especially to Mr. Scrooge. He didn't come off good in that at all, you know. It's not his fault that I'm poor, is it? I got 19 kids. Got 19 kids in a liberal arts degree. What you expect, eh? Slave away all day at a menial job, you come home to 19 kids and a fat wife. Why is my wife so fat, by the way? We got 19 kids and no money. What's she been eating? Tell you, the rows I have with her, they never stop. Why do we have so many kids to begin with? We can't afford that many. Don't need them. Can barely afford to feed ourselves. Yet you're a bleeding heifer. What's that about, eh? And she don't let up. Well, you've always known I've wanted a large, loving family, she'll say. Hey, large, loving family. You got a bleeding caravan in here. We ain't even Catholic. At this rate, we might as well become Mormon. At least that way I get a few extra wives come round, help out, right? 19 kids. And a lot of people, they come up to me and they say, well, why don't you just use birth control? Like they got some clever idea. Well, I got news for you. I do. I do. I try. Always telling the wife things like no and stop and please, you're hurting me now, but she don't care. She just takes what she wants. It's terrifying. It's like going to bed with a pachyderm. You don't know what's coming. You just hope you wake up when it's over. Start to feel I'm getting violated in this marriage. Every time I see the sun start to go down, my knees tremble with fear because I know what she's going to want within the hour. And she don't ask. She just comes over and she takes it. It's torture. And one of 19 kids, disabled. Tiny Tim, you know about him? That's all we need. Make matters worse, I don't even know if he's mine. I don't. He's called Tiny Tim, isn't he? Not Tiny Bob. Got 19 kids, not one of them's named after me. Tiny Tim, Tiny Tom, Tiny Joe, Tiny Jerome. Not a Tiny Bob, not one of them. Of course, Tiny Tim's got a limp and a crutch. He's also got red hair and freckles. Didn't get that from me. Don't ask me no more questions about that. And it really ain't fair. It's not. That's what's so frustrating. Because, we live in Victorian England, right? One of the great domestic tragedies of our time is how many families is losing their children, right? That's why they have so many, because they're going to lose half of them straight from birth. We ain't lost one. We ain't lost one, no matter how many times I pray for it or leave the front door open. They all seem to have the constitution of an iron horse. It's ridiculous. Every night before I go to bed with the missus, I sit down and I pray for two things. One, that this will be the last time. And two, that somebody comes down with scarlet fever, typhoid, malaria, whooping cough, strong case of the hiccups. I don't care. Anything to thin the herd around here. If I had a few extra bob, you know what I'd do? I wouldn't spend it on food. No, I'd hire a bunch of invalids to come round and breathe on everybody for an hour or so until something takes. It's awful. I wish you knew. But I ain't laid at the feet of Mr. Scrooge. That ain't his doing. That's what's so odd. The honest truth is, it's mine. It's my fault. I just made a bunch of bad decisions when I was younger. I never had no guidance back then, like a lot of young men. What I should have done was study something more lucrative at school, like marketing, instead of poetry, which is what I did do. Like a lot of people my age, I thought that writing limericks was going to be my path to fame and fortune. Well, it ain't. It just ain't. So if there's anybody out there who's got the same idea, just put it out of your head right now. Do yourself a favor. It ain't worth it. Next thing you know, you come home to a fat wife, 19 kids, and an AABBA rhyme scheme. There ain't no way to have a happy Christmas. Take it from me. You know, if I had to do it all over, you know what I'd do? You know what I'd do? First of all, I'd marry an anorexic. That's for starters, at least a bulimic, you know? Leave a crumb or two for somebody else, right? Then I think I'd snip something off, either off me or off her. That'd be the end of the 19 kids. Huh. And then, instead of focusing so much on the limericks, I think I'd try to develop my skill with the IQ a bit, you know? That's a bit more compact. You could fit that into a fortune cookie, I bet. Give you a little bit more distribution, a bit more exposure, right? And because every time I write a limerick, every time I write one, I always start out with, there once was a man from, and I take it from there. And I just think it limits military output, you know? Puts a clamp on it. Of course, I'm working on one right now. I feel really good about it. I do. I think it's going to be great. I just have to come up with a good rhyme to describe the things they do up in Ipswich.